Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, the numbers are in for the Calgary Real Estate Board for the month of September. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what's happened the whole year in terms of sales, months of inventory. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare September of 19 to September of 18, and you're going to see some positive movement there, which is good. But then what I'm going to do different this time is I'm also going to show you what's happened with the average price of all the different property types over the past 12 months. We can see what's going on with all the different property types. In other words, detached, condos, townhouses, that sort of thing. So let's have a look here. So again, you've seen this before. So what's going on? You can see January right through to September. September, we had 1,371 sales. Now, obviously, that is down 13.4% from August, and August was down again from July. So this here was a little lower than I thought it was going to be, quite honestly. And then look at your listings. Your listings dropped. We're 6,889 listings at the end of September, and at the end of August, we were just over 7,000. So our inventory dropped again. What does that mean? Okay, look at your months of inventory. So you remember we started at 6.8 months of inventory. As I always say, balanced market, 4 to 6 months. Above 6, buyer's market. Below 4, you're going to be into more of a seller's market. Now, we moved into the spring, and this is very interesting and very normal. 6.8 months of inventory, dropped to 6, dropped to 5 in March, 4.6 in April, and then down to 3.9 in May. The market was actually pretty strong here. Now remember, months of inventory does not reflect sales necessarily being up and down. What it reflects is if we take the amount of sales, and of course we divide that into the active listings, and it shows us how many months of inventory. So what sometimes can happen in a market, your sales might be down a little bit, and your months of inventory could be down as well, and that's only because we have less active listings on the market. So strongest month was May, June 4.2, summer, July and August were both 4.4, and then we went up to 5 here in September. Days in market, we started at 72, we're now at around 59, so it's down pretty substantially. But look at this. If we compare, this is September here of 2018, opposed to say 2019, you can see we're up. We had 1,268 sales. We went up to 1,371 in September this year. So our sales are up by 8.1%. So again, we're moving the right way. Not where we were 4 years ago or 5 years ago, but we're moving the right way. What's happened with our prices year over year? Almost flat. 466 last September and 461 this September. So let's look at your months of inventory, and what does this graph's basically the last 3 years. So 2017, you'll see here, is right going along, and it's below the last 2 years. 2018, remember stress test, it crept up a little bit up around here, and 2019, we started higher, the highest in the last 3 years, but the good news is we came down, and we've now gone below last year, and we stayed below last year all through the summer and into the fall. So when I look at this, you can see we're almost where we were like 2 years ago. We're well below we were last year. We had 6.3 months of inventory here, and you can see we're down to 5 right here. We're 4.7 2 years ago. So again, what does all this mean? Your market is right now very balanced. Now I'm going to show you average sale price in just a minute in many of the different property types. But again, in some property types you're going to see price increases just barely, and others you're going to see prices going down. Because right now you have more months of inventory, supply and demand, in say condo apartments than you do detached. So let's have a look at this. If you look here, here's your detached. So if we compare price, it's almost flat. We were $539 in detached last September. We're $542. So it is up slightly. Look at apartments though. We started at an average price of $301. What's happened? We're down to $283. Your condo apartments are down by 6%. Okay? And then attached, we're up slightly by 1%, and semi-detached here, you can see we're actually up by 5.1%. So very interesting what's going on right now in your marketplace. So I would say overall, here's what you have. You have very flat prices. You're going to have some markets that are busier than others. So in other words, inexpensive detached homes right now, maybe first-time buyers, you're probably going to see that market a little busier. You get up into the more expensive detached homes, market's going to be a little bit slower. And then of course, condo apartments have been suffering for quite a while. Now, why would they suffer? Because in Toronto and Vancouver, condo apartments are doing great, and it's because of affordability. See, in Calgary, what happens is a lot of people, especially first-time buyers, they might be able to afford a detached home. And I think it makes sense that if they could afford a detached home instead of a condo apartment, if they're going to start a family, they're probably going to go in that direction. So that's why what you're seeing here is you're seeing months of inventory is relatively high there, causing prices to go down, and this market is more in a balanced market. I suspect the rest of the year that probably October, November, December, just my prediction, that our sales are going to be higher than they were at the same point last year. They're not going to be where they were 4 or 5 years ago, but they're going to be higher than where they were, say, last year. So the market is moving the right direction. However, saying that, it's moving very, very slowly. Overall, what you're sitting in right now is a very balanced market. So what you got to do is you got to make sure right now your pricing listings right. You're going to help buyers see why they should be buying right now, because the pie from 4 years ago is now smaller, okay? Like 4 years ago, your pie was this big and your pie is now down to this big, which means we got to probably work a little bit harder if we want to do the same or more business. So I hope this was helpful. I look forward to talking to you next month. And at the end of the day, remember everybody, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.